hear this all the time. The customer says, when I use a binder, I'm putting in large amounts to help control mycotoxins. How can 9 grams per head per day for DTX control mycotoxins in our cows?
Okay, Dan, think of it this way. 9 grams is the same, if it were liquid, as 9 milliliters. 1 milliliter has 20 drops in it. Now think about a drop of liquid. If I have bacterial culture media, I can put several trillion bacteria into 1 drop. And our active principle is a bacteria. Plus, it's a smaller bacteria than normal, so I can get even more in that 1 drop. So theoretically, I could tell you to use 1 drop, but we'd have a hard time distributing 1 drop in a feed, in a TMR. So we have formulated this to provide adequate amount to go into a mineral premix or a concentrate, or when you're adding it as a dry product directly into the TMR to get distribution. But the activity is contained in essentially 1 little drop of that 9 grams. Plenty of activity for high toxin loads. Dan, we hear this on occasion too. A farmer has been using a dose of DTX, as we've indicated, for a period of time, yet he's still seeing problems in the cows. What could be going on and what should he do?
That's a great question. What I can tell you is sometimes our assays are misleading. Mycotoxins are very dynamic. They will be really high in certain areas, say our corn silage pile or in our bag. That can be variant on hybrid, that can be variant on field, on moisture, on compaction, all the above. So those are affecting our cows. Sometimes if the toxins exceed what our DTX will do, we may need to increase our dose. It will reach a threshold with our product.
Do they have to stay on a larger dose forever?
No, usually we get through that. Generally, if you're on DTX and you're seeing really good results in your cows and your manure is thickened up and you're seeing good intakes and good heat expression, all of a sudden you may have a couple days where you get changes and you see loose manure and cows intakes go down. Those are results of either changes in feed or in certain cases, increases in mycotoxins. And sometimes that's caused by feedstuffs being brought in that are higher than previous loads. You get into a hot spot in your silage, and after a few days or a load, you get another load, you go to a different feed, it comes back down.
Is it true what I hear? Are we more expensive than other products in the marketplace?
We hear that all the time. What I see out in the field is competitors will use a single dose and cheaper product initially. Generally, it does not perform as well as our DTX. Then they end up using a double or a triple dose, or in some cases they'll use multiple products at significantly more cost, and it does not work as well as a single dose of our DTX. And that's what we see. What I would suggest to the Select Sires reps is work with your individual Select Sires co-op, and our price is based on formulation and on volume. So to get the best price, consult with your Select Sires office.
Dan, is Select DTX compatible with other nutrients such as the minerals, the mineral mix going into a ration?
John, I hear that all the time. That's a great question. Because of our proprietary technology, we have cell wall deficient organisms which provide stability to our product. It allows us to be put in a mineral mix or a soybean mix as well, a protein mix. And that's what's unique about our product. It doesn't get activated till it gets digested by the cow. So we are allowed to be put in with most generally any carrier that dairymen are using.
How do you put DTX into the ration, and when's the best time to do it?
Okay, generally the best time is getting it put in an elevator. We have 2 different formulations, John. We have a half-ounce product that generally is used by our smaller dairymen to use either as a top dress or putting in a TMR. If you're going to put it in a TMR, try to put it in at the early times when you're putting in your protein mix or some of your grains. Don't put it in at the end when you're putting in your round bale or your corn silage. Try to get a good mix if you can. Our concentrated formulas are what we sell the most of, and those are at our elevators. Generally, that is put in a mineral mix or a protein mix, where it gets put in a bin and the dairy puts a set amount of pounds in and it's at the right rate.